It's every day, Monday to Friday, with an exceptional woman. We call her and we tell her that she is, in fact, an epitome of beauty. She is, of course, the red rose, and she makes this camera look very flawless. Because why? Look at her skin now. Look at the face. Agbabola. That's how we also call her. There's only one Odogu one, and that's Odogu Queen Diva. So yes, welcome to the show, and the show promises to be exciting today because we are about to shut it down. So take water and relax yourself today, and remember, every day above 6 feet is a very good day. Good morning.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so before we go on a break, there's something I want to discuss quickly. So on my way coming to work this morning, there's this guy that just ran straight to the main road, the other side of the road, and he was just shouting and walking, and he was half naked. And people were saying, I think this guy is on colos or something. I don't know. And what if the car hits him because it's on the express? I don't know what is wrong with you. He's very young, naked, and he was just shouting. I don't think he's even seeing the cars because, like, I was wondering what's happening to people these days.
That's almost the same thing I saw, but mine was worse. I saw a dead body on the road that was covered. Felt like his head was someone used machete to cut different parts of his head. It was terrible. It had to be covered up. I just feel like, first off, that's what WhatsApp show is all about, especially the fact that we're speaking of for the Gen Zs. People, this period is a very terrible period, so be very careful how you leave your house, when you leave your house and when you return. Always say your prayers. Always be smart, not just regular smartness, street smart. And if you do get spooked or get robbed on the road, please don't struggle with anybody. Give them, if it's the phone is better than your life.
Yeah.
And then don't smoke stuff that you know your brain cannot handle.
Like, don't do drugs, because it's obviously the guy was on something that influenced him and his body couldn't take it. He was just shouting and just doing like this on the main road where we have cars like the express, and I was so scared for him. I was like, what's going on? What is going on?
Then these ones we have young guys come very early in the morning. When I leave the house, you see them, they just shout, Baba, hey, Baba, Egbon, Biggie, you know, Shele. At 6:30 in the morning. Don't you guys have work to do? They've bastardized everywhere, every bus stop. When I go to get dinner or food, anywhere, they just accost you on the road. Baba, fine, anything for the boys.
Honestly.
See, we need to do better, please. We're begging you guys, parents, please look into this case. Do not leave your kids unattended. Train up your child. When we're born and when we're growing up, you'd see situations where you say a child is born, but it's the community that raises that child. Now, if a child is doing stuff that doesn't concern anybody, do like leave your child to do this one, do this one. But that's what it is. So we're trying to see how we can rectify all
So
that.
please say no to drugs, please. It will do you more harm than good. Okay, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to meet our special guest. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you're welcome to be our guest on Galaxy Television, and this segment right here is WhatsApp. So you've not missed anything yet, okay? You're about to meet our guest for today. So we have Tunde Olaoye. Yes, so as a filmmaker, a writer, theater director, and film editor. Okay, so his educational background is Unity School, Ikire, Osun State, Nigeria, then University of Ilorin, BA Performing Arts, the Pencils Film and Television Institute, Certificate in Cinematography. Television credits: Jennifer's Diary, head writer and director; Super Story, director; Family Ties, head writer and director; Village Headmaster, director; Soul Sisters, director; Nectar, director; Face to Face, head writer and director; Papa Ajaskum, director; The Babingtons, director; City Crimes, director. I love the way I'm saying director. Behind the Smiles, director and digital editor; Shadows, head writer, director; Liberty Villa, head writer, director; Dreamers, director; Backdoor, director; Crack in the Wall, head writer and director; Nowhere to be found, head writer and director. Needle's Eye, head writer and director. So cinema credits, we have Married but Living Single, producer and director. Fool's Day, producer and director. Lugard, writer and director. Olola Aginju, writer and director. Last Man Standing, director. Yahaya, the White Lion, director. Son of Iron, director. Singleness is Bliss, director. Unknown Pandemic, director and film editor. This is a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Tunde Olaoye, right?
Olaoye.
Please
Yeah.
pronounce it well for me.
Tunde Olaoye.
Tunde Olaoye. I want to see your resume. Director, writer, director, film design, director. You're welcome to the show.
I'm delighted to be here.
I hope you didn't.
They say super story.
I'm wondering if there's something wrong with him.
A life of strife and sorrow. This is superstar. See, this man is responsible for keeping Nigerians 8 o'clock. No, you cannot leave this.
Is it 8 o'clock?
Yes, now. AIT, then NTA, then which other stations? We had on Galaxy too now.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Was I born then?
No. You are 12 years old.
So Tunde Olaoye, I mean Olayole.
Olaoye.
I'm going to Olayole. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for that.
It's
not.
Well, it's not simple.
I don't blame you.
Olaoye.
I don't blame you. Let me tell you, I can speak Yoruba, and I know Yoruba in alphabet. Now, should I say it?
Yeah, please do.
A B D A E F G B E G K. That's where I know. I can remember.
Okay.
I know
That's
everything.
great.
Kini Silebu.
Syllable ni. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
girl. Like, you know nothing.
I know, but I tried at least the alphabetical.
You did good.
Yeah. I still remember those days. Not so I know book that time. Well.
You know book.
Yes, so.
What's it come upon?
No, chef for Yoruba. Yoruba don't they tell me other one.
That time.
I know now, but now we don't they old now. So all those things when they teach us that time don't come. So you're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome to the show.
Yes,
I'm glad
thank
to be
you
here.
for thank you for squeezing. I know you people don't like to show your face.
Yeah,
true.
Imagine all these great movies and series and
Achievements,
everything, all this, and we don't even know we only know the actors and the actresses. But you
so-
people that write the story, direct, produce, we don't see your face. Why? Why is that when they call you guys to come out, you'll be hiding? What is it that you people are hiding? So you're gonna go they do nakurukere things. Then nobody go know, right?
Well, we are meant for behind the scene. We are not for before the scene. So, I mean, as the name implies, behind the scene should be behind the scene.
Well, but once in a while, people need to know that you guys are the main reason why we have lovely series and movies like this.
Absolutely.
All right, early.
So first, in your next movie, if you are looking for someone that will do Winch, Queen.
No, it's Queen of the Coast.
Yes, so.
Queen of the Coast now.
Yes. Well, welcome to the studio, Mr. Tunde Olaoye, and we are honored to have you here. Yes, please tell us in detail when all this started and how you delved into production and then directing as a whole. We want to hear it from the origin.
Yeah, well, interestingly, there is no way I can write a book about how I got involved in production without mentioning Galaxy TV.
Wow.
It's very
Let's
interesting.
clap.
Whoa.
Yeah.
In around 2003, there's a youth program here in Galaxy TV. I just finished serving. I mean, Zamfara State. Then I came back to Lagos, and there was nothing to do. So, but we watched TV a lot, and I came to Galaxy TV for a youth program. I think we used to send an SMS to the presenter then to indicate if you want to come on the program. So I came on the program. It was a youth program then, and we had a discussion about talent. So there was this young guest that we argued together about talent and young people that day. There was a very hot argument in the studio, and then we left. When we got to the gate, I was about going back to the house, and then I exchanged numbers with the young lady, and she said she's going for rehearsals. And I was like, oh, rehearsals? I mean, it sounds like what I was born for. I mean, since I came back from service, I've been looking for places where I can, you know, go for rehearsals, see people rehearse, get involved in what they are doing. And there's a theatre company producing for Galaxy TV then, Total Theatre, Raymond Honorebe and co. It was Egejuru, Dance of Shame.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Dance of Shame that they were. So they used to rehearse at a place in Ikeja, Port Scene, yeah. Oh, I think it's owned by maybe Ebenezer Obey or something. Okay, I know I used to see Ebenezer Obey around there. So I said, oh, can I come for your rehearsal? She said yes. So I went for the rehearsals, and then I introduced myself to the producer and the directors, Raymond Honorebe then, and I said, oh, I studied performing arts. I mean, I've been a theatre director all my life in school. I've acted. And he gave me a little audition, and he just gave me a script. He said, in our next season, you are playing one of the new roles in Dance of Shame. I was so excited. So that was how I became, you know, a part of them. I started, you know, interacting with them. And from there, the young lady became a very close friend. She now told me she's also going for an audition at Wale Adenuga production in 7 and 8. I said, audition? I mean, I was born in Lagos, but the fact that I went to a boarding school in Osun State for 6 years, immediately I graduated, I went to the university. Immediately I finished university, I went to serve. So I've spent like 12 years not on the street of Lagos. So, and there was no internet then. Before you could access your Yahoo Mail then, it could even take you 2 hours at the cyber cafe. So information was very difficult for somebody who is not around. She was in Lagos State Polytechnic, so she has information about what is going on in Lagos. So I followed her to Wale Adenuga Productions, 7 and 8 bus stop then, after Oshodi. So I met with Uncle Antalanio and the production manager then, Beki Adeoye. I was auditioned. I think I was given an excerpt from a play by Olarotimi Koromi. So I think the director was impressed with my performance, and he said, okay, you're going to have a role. So I was given the role of a village youth in one of the old super stories. I think it should be The Staff. You know, so that was on the same day. I came to Galaxy for a show, just to talk on a youth show. I met somebody who introduced me to 2, you know, different production companies, and I got a script. So I got 2 scripts in one day, and when I woke up that morning, I didn't know that I was ever going to, you know, get involved in any production at that point. So that's how I got involved in production. I started acting some minor roles in Super Story then, but I had always wanted to be a film director, and there was a time I now went back for audition if there are opportunities for casting in Wale Adenuga Productions. And Beki now told me that they are starting a school. That was in 2004. That they're starting a film school, and then they would like to encourage their students, so they will only be casting for those minor roles from amongst their students. I said, okay, let me see the model of your school. Let me see if there's any course I could take there. And when I checked it, I said, okay, well, I've done a lot of things back in university days out of all these things, but I saw cinematography, which I don't think I have any idea of. So I chose to study cinematography, a certificate course in cinematography for 6 months there. And that was where I met people. You know, I learned about the cameras. I honed my skills for filmmaking. I had a proper theater training already back in university days. I had interest in visual storytelling. I did a little bit of media and television, you know, in school, but the nitty-gritty, the real essence of television production, of filmmaking and everything, I still needed to know the core. So the Pencil Film and Television Institute exposed me to a lot of things. I met people like Tunde Kilani, people like Alonso Femi Aloba, the Sound, people who, you know, used to come to teach us once in a while, and a lot of great people. So I made myself available for production pro bono here and there, and somehow my talent got recognized by producers, and my dreams started, you know, coming true.
Yeah,
today.
that's quite a very interesting one. Yes. Okay, do you have any question?
One more. The act of directing and production. I want you to give us on what it takes to be a very successful director or producer. Now, tell us the steps to take. And yes, we know you are very successful. Now, why we're doing this is because we want people like you who stepped into a Galaxy event without having an idea of 1 or 2 of those things and becoming who you are now. It's always about the first step, basically. So we want to know why and how, and if they are to undergo these steps, what will make them to the right path?
Okay, well, there are no cast in stone or hard and fast rules about becoming a film director. You know, because I mean, there's an ounce of creativity in every human being. So the first thing is you have to have interest. I studied performing arts. You know, they call it theater art in a lot of schools, but in my own school they call it performing arts because it's all encompassing. It has music, it has dance,
Yes.
you know, drama and everything. So I think that's one of the things that that's where I cut my teeth, you know, as a storyteller, as somebody who is a performer. So, but it doesn't have to be that route. I mean, I've seen the highest grossing cinematographer in Nollywood right now studied mathematics. You know, so I mean, the highest grossing director studied law. So it's your interest in creativity. Everybody already has that, you know, creativity in them. But are you interested in nurturing that creative ability that you have in you? So you must first of all be interested in creativity. If you're interested in creativity, you must continue to hone your skills. You need to keep looking for information. You need to keep looking for places where they do that thing, and then, you know, be around them, learn, observe, read. So a director, for instance, is somebody who understands all the crafts of production, you know, and he synthesizes all these crafts into one whole. So it's something artistic, but you need to know about makeup, about costume, about writing, about editing, because you are the head of the creative aspect of the production. So you need to speak to people in their language. Like I said, I studied cinematography, but I'm not a cinematographer. But I saw that that's the aspect that I think I really don't know much about then. So I had to go and study it. So that when I'm talking to my cinematographer, I'm talking to my cinematographer in his own language. He understands what I'm talking about. And then also, when he sees that I know what he knows, he has confidence in the information I pass to him. So I'm not just telling him, do what I don't understand myself. So I also tell directors that I train that you also even need to be an average actor at least. Because I mean, you're a director, you want to tell somebody, you want to communicate an emotion or something to an actor. Some actors don't get it until you do it for them.
True.
Until you give them a sample of what you want them to do. Some actors get it. I mean, just from reading the script. Some actors are so, you know, they are so brilliant that they know what to do once they read the script.
Have depth of interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. So they have internalized even right from reading. But there are some, actually, the young ones that are still grooming. So you need a skill in all these aspects of production. You need to be a master, you know, in of all these crafts, you know, so that when you're talking to them, they know that you know what you're doing. Because human beings have a way not to trust you if they don't think you can do that thing you're telling them to do. So they you know, you sabi pass me.
Yes.
You think I don't know what they do, but they have confidence in you when they know that you know.
Yes.
So if you want to be a director, you have a lot of work to do. You have to know something about almost everything. You can be given a script on aviation. You can be given a script on psychology. You can be given a script on any topic in the world. So how do you want to interpret it? You cannot interpret what you don't want to know. So a director must be a voracious reader. You must have that appetite, you know, to want to consume information all the time. So it's a whole lot, but I mean, it's not something that is impossible for anybody who has interest.
Okay, so you're a seasoned writer. Okay, so what inspires the stories that you write? Like you're head writer for Jennifer's Diary, Super Stories, Family Ties, you know, and the rest. Tell us what inspires those stories. Because I can see Jennifer's Diary, you know.
That's gone on for many seasons. Oh, you're doing
How are you able to do this?
Yeah, actually, I was head writer for Jennifer's. I was head writer director for 10 seasons. That's from the beginning.
Seasons.
Yeah, from
Wow.
the beginning till a point when I had to move on to some other production. So sometimes producers have an idea of what they want you to write about.
Okay.
You know, they have the idea. They may not be able to write it down, or they don't have the skill, or they don't have the time, you know, to write it down by themselves, and then they hire you as a writer. So you have series of workshops and conferences to discuss what the story will be about. So in a lot of cases, your writing is an aggregation of discussion of different creatives. So you are just putting it into dialogue because you understand the format and the process of dialogue. So it's always like that. But there are some stories too that I've written that are originally my own ideas. So I've always loved story writing from childhood. I spent a little bit of time with my grandmother while I was growing up. My grandmother was she was like a judge, like a community judge, a judge in a community. When things happen between husband and wife, between neighbors and everything, they bring the case to her. So in our large parlor, people come, they talk, this one talks, this one talks. So I used to sit down beside my grandmother, then I listened to a lot of stories. So even as a young man from like 5, 6, I mean, my formative stage, I've listened to cases between husband and wife, you know, or between neighbors who contributed money and then somebody after spending, he didn't contribute his own the next month. So I get a lot of inspiration from some of these stories. Wow. And I've been exposed to the psychology of human beings right from a very young age. I know that people can be people can be devious, people can be deceitful. Life is war, life is crisis and confrontation, but there must also always be resolutions and way forward. And this is what all storytelling is all about. So, because I mean, storytelling is all about creating conflicts and then finding resolution to the conflicts.
Sure. That's good. Yeah. Yes, okay. So we still have Tunde Olaoye with us right here on WhatsApp. Okay, so we'll just take a quick break and then we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you're welcome to be our guest on Galaxy Television, and the segment right here is WhatsApp. So we have Tunde Olaoye, right? Okay, so we still have Tunde Olaoye here with us. Okay, so we just watched the trailer of Lugard. Yes, so tell us about it.
Yeah, that's it's on Amazon Prime currently. We shot it in 2019, I think thereabout. Okay, so during before COVID came to Nigeria, I think so. Okay. So at some point, COVID disrupted the shoots. After the 1 year of COVID, we had to go back to do so. But eventually, it came out on Amazon Prime recently. It's a story about cultism in our universities, how it all started. How the intention of creating confraternities is not, it wasn't about violence. It was about fighting for the right of, black students, fighting for the right of the less privileged and co. But there's a kind of evolution that happened to confraternity on our campuses. It now turned to, violent gangs where people kill themselves. So the story is basically trying to tell people who are involved in confraternities to retrace the steps back to what the founding fathers of confraternities, found them for, is brotherhood. That there's no big deal in brotherhood. Even religion creates brotherhood. It's churches, mosques, and brotherhood is people coming together, having the same kind of mentality, defending one another, and then helping one another. That is the origin of confraternity. But we have lost it, and people have turned it into something very negative. So the movie is just trying to tell people that, there's no big deal in creating brotherhood, but make sure that you are using it to develop humanity, not for destruction of humanity.
Okay. All right. So as a director, writer, producer that have been in the industry for quite some time now, you've met a lot of upcoming actresses. Yeah. Okay. So now this brings me to sexual harassment. All right. I've met some few actresses. They explained their story when they were about to start up their acting career. They've been sexually harassed, like, you will have to give me this for me to give you this role and all that. So can you please enlighten us about it? I'm not saying you're doing it though, but I just wanted to, have you seen it? Like maybe your colleagues or other people do such.
Sexual harassment is not. It's a human vice. It's not a film industry vice. But you see, when actors die, everybody knows, but people die every day. When actors divorce, it becomes news. But people divorce every day. I mean, there are customary courts everywhere where cases of divorce come up every day. But everybody will just be shouting, that one actor has divorced, he has remarried. These are human. It's a human. Sexual harassment is a human vice. It's a terrible human vice. Everywhere, every phase of life, every walks of life, the explicit and implicit nuances of men or women trying to get something from the opposite sex because they want to give them something, transactional, So, and when human beings suspend their brains, the tendency to be beastly, the animalistic tendency in every human being comes out. So sexual harassment is one of those animalistic tendencies of human beings. I mean, we watch Nat Geo Wild, you see the way the male lions harass the female lions and all those things. So it is, but because we are higher animals, we have brain. So we should not let the animalistic tendencies in us to, you know, overcome the human tendencies that God has endowed us with. So when people make it a film industry thing, I always want to disagree. I don't want to say, I'm not saying it doesn't happen in the film industry, it happens. But it is not a film industry thing. The film industry must not be tainted with a problem that is human. You know, so we must speak about it all the time, because there was a time in the film industry when indirect sexual harassment was not even seen as a vice. You know, it was like a norm. Like, oh, you want something from me, it's transactional. You want something from me, give me something. So, and even the women or the men who want something from the women too, they were ready to give. But I think as knowledge started increasing, we had internet, people could speak out, we started reading about certain things that happened to directors abroad, to filmmakers abroad. We saw people jailed, you know, for taking advantage of young people. And then people started waking up to see that, oh, it is true. Some people were doing it, and the people who are asking for it and the people who were giving at some point were not even seeing it as a vice. While me, I was young in the industry, I saw it happening to people, and then even we did not see it as a vice. We just saw it like people doing what they have to do to get what they want. But like I said, knowledge has increased, and it is very rare now. Because even a director, a producer knows that the person can call you out. When you are called out, your career can end. There's social media now. There are certain things that once you, if you do in this compound then and nobody knows, I mean, it ends there. It ends there. But now you cannot end there. So my experience with people from college, people are even more careful now. Like, I don't even encourage an unnecessary communication with people. Because even what you don't do, it is the first to report that wins cases on social media. So, and then once there is any trace, maybe you're just only catching clues with somebody. That clues that you're catching, once the person reports you and say this thing happened, social media people don't want to hear. You'll be trending for the wrong reasons. So it's only somebody who is not smart or somebody who doesn't like his or her career in the film industry now that will be going that route. Okay. Because I mean, I tell people, I talk to my colleagues, I tell them that it's not necessary, because everywhere in the world, by the virtue of the kind of thing you do sometimes because people like it, there are people who want you. So why are you going after people who do not want you? Because, I mean, when you harass somebody sexually, it means that you are trying to look for something that is not given to you. So, why? And what you are looking for, that somebody is saying no, there are yeses everywhere. So why not live a soft life? Why are you looking for what doesn't want you? Yeah. So, it's a terrible, sexual harassment, with my understanding now, is a terrible thing. It's something that must stop. All those mannerisms of inappropriate communication with people, and if people deserve something, give it to them. I mean, you don't need to ask them for sex in return for what they deserve. So I'm an advocate of don't even let it happen. Don't even let it happen at all. I mean, if things will want to happen between two consenting adults, I mean, let it happen. But don't make it transactional. Don't say, because if you don't give me this, I'm not going to give you that, and the person deserves it. So it's something that I discourage with all my strength.
Okay, so one more question before Raleigh takes it. As a director, when you're on set, I'm sure that there are some actors and actresses you would always love to work with. Whenever you're on set with them, it's always so easy to work with them. And then there are some that are so difficult to work with. Okay, so can you share on your experience with the ones you love to, work with? I'm sure you won't want to mention the other side. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to mention names, because if I mention names, the people I don't mention their name will start thinking maybe I'm not among those with their mother. But like I said earlier, I've been exposed to human behavioral pattern at childhood. So I'm not somebody who expects too much from human beings, and I know that we have to all be different. Just like we write scripts and we give people roles, to a large extent, God has also written script and given us roles. So even difficult people sometimes are playing their roles, because everybody cannot just be the same. So the fact that you are being difficult, I just look for ways to manage difficult people. Of course, there are difficult people. I look for ways to manage them, and if they are good, I will still call them again. I tell people when they say, I don't like working with this person because it's difficult, I say, if he can deliver, if he's the one that can deliver, I'll call him. I know how to manage difficult people. Because, I mean, it's a skill. It's one of those skills that you also need as a director. I mean, you're a man manager. So, and everybody cannot. It's like football. I mean, they are proud footballers.
Yeah.
But they are good. They are the ones that will score the goals for you. So, as a coach, why do you want to bench somebody that is good just because he's proud?
Because it's proud.
Just go and score the goals for me. If you like, go and make your hair and go and do fashion and celebrate removing your jersey and anything, But just do the job for me. If you can do the job for me. So, I think people are different. That's what I would say. So it's no big deal that some people are difficult and some people are very sweet to work with. It's just what comes with the job.
All right, 2 more questions tomorrow before we round up.
Yeah, quick one. You've done so many movies and so many TV series. Which one would you say gave you the most satisfaction and why?
Difficult question. Because I would not. I know some of my producers will be watching, and then they'll be expecting that it will be their own.
You mentioned their own.
So, but really,
well, obviously you can't choose everybody now.
Yes, but there is actually one. One of the first things I saw on TV as a human being at a very young age, maybe at age 3, 4, was Village Headmaster, because I remember the sound. Once we hear bam, bam. Bang 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 alake omonire city. That soundtrack of Village Headmaster when I was young is one sound that we are always waiting for. My parents were always waiting for Village Headmaster. I didn't know what was going on in the drama, but as a child, once that sound comes, we are all rushing to the parlor to sit down to watch Village Headmaster.
Yeah.
So the day I was asked to come and direct Village Headmaster was very special for me. I can say it's probably the first program I remembered on television as a human being. That's back in the early 80s. Now, one day, I was called upon to come and direct the same program. So I found a lot of fulfillment meeting some of those actors that were like my heroes while I was growing up. I mean, some of them now in their 80s, late 70s. I had to now work with them, and it was a very pleasant experience for me.
All right, good. So quickly, before we round up the show, give Gen Zs, give people watching quick word of advice, because this is the time and the age where sometimes we say that values and morals have been thrown to the wind. We need you to come through for us today and say, hey, this is what you have to do, this is how to go. That's the essence of the show. We educate, we entertain, and of course we do inform people. So please, quickly, word of advice for those who are looking up to you.
Yeah, I will say Gen Zs, I know you are craving for success.
They're craving.
But you have to follow process. Nothing great comes easy. Everything is not, we no go gree, no gree for anybody. You can perish on your way to not green for anybody. So everything is not gra like we call it on the streets. I know you have the energy, you quickly want things to change. You are frustrated. You think things will be better. But you see, the process is the way. And every great thing that you desire will take a painstaking effort. So time do heal wounds. Time do correct wrongs. So don't let us rush into success. In the process of craving for this success, let us be patient and let us be sensible. in getting the success, and the time will surely come.
Oh yes, that's beautiful. Quickly, your social media handles as we're about to round up.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. My name is Tunde Olaoye. I'm at Tunde Olaoye Direct on Instagram, and I'm at Distinct Tunde on X. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, thank you so very much. It was nice having you right here on the show. Okay, thank you so much. So I hope anytime we call on you. And then if you have any role, what should you give Orally? Because he said if you have which role, you should give me.
I think there's a role for somebody that's going to jump from a skyscraper.
High five.
I hope jumping is not in Nigeria.
And no insurance. No insurance.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll move straight to Celebrity Gist. Don't go anywhere, okay?